Hello! Just in the setting up period, guys. Me and Ash are going to discuss ancient aliens today. So let me share the stream with peoples. Sharing that. And let me just... un momento. 1 second, guys. Just doing a little something. 1 sec. Why isn't this bloody working? There we go. Yes, we have a backing track. Appropriate mantle. So this is just the little lull time while we're waiting for people to join and for Ash to join as well. Angle that a bit better. I don't know why that's like that. So guys, today we're talking about the ancient alien theory. Yes! Tinfoil crew!
I was so prepared.
You do like you? I've got it playing as well. I've got it playing as well.
I was so ready. I'd say that's suitable. You are.
You know, man. Yeah.
I'll admit that. Like honestly, I've had it on my head for about 20 minutes now. My head is exceptionally warm. There might be something to this.
There might be, yeah. Wow, it is lovely up under there.
I might take one busking from now on.
Hey, you know what? Just put a bit of foil in one of your beanies or something.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It'll work, you know.
Yeah. Keep me warm all winter.
Too bloody right. So I think we should wait a little while, Ash. Give it another 5 minutes or so. Let people join in, and I think we'll start with the preface of what ancient aliens is, just for some people might not know what it even is.
Well, I started with, hello everyone, and welcome to our special Halloween live stream. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious world of ancient aliens, exploring encounters, abductions, and the fascinating possibility of extraterrestrial beings influencing our ancient civilizations.
Well, what can I say? You summed it up perfect, mate. Right, we'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah, man. So, I thought a good way to get started, I've loaded up 11 strange stories to do with aliens that touch on maybe the Halloween concept. So they're only short stories. So I thought I'd read these out one at a time, and then we will discuss the intermittent details of them.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I like it. Let's go.
Alright, so I mean I'm on 4 followers now. It's Halloween, so a lot of people are going to be out. I wouldn't expect it to be overtly busy unless people can't afford to go out.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a bit of fun for us anyway, mate. It's not, we're not trying to profit from it or anything.
It's the first time. So
the first of many to come, I hope.
The first thing I've got is Too Much Hair, Too Little Time, 1969. On a weekend trip to Boulder, Colorado in 1969, a young member of the Air Force was in bed when his motel room suddenly darkened, followed by a bright flash of light. The next day, he realised his half-inch long hair was now almost 2 inches long, a mystery that his roommate totally freaked out about. When he returned to the base in Aurora, Colorado, he wasn't sure what to think of the story, but did realise there was glaring physical evidence. The airman recalled, though he didn't remember anything else from that night, he speculated in his report that he had been abducted and presumably taken to a place where time passes more quickly than it does on Earth. He says, I still have trouble remembering many things. It has always been very, very foggy since that time. However, the mystery eludes about his hair and the miraculous growth.
Yeah, now to begin with, I thought, what's this? I haven't heard anything like this before. But as you carried on, I began to realise that yes, I have heard something similar. It's when people go to space, when astronauts travel in space,
Hmm.
time seems to time seems excuse me, time seems to pass faster for them.
Hmm.
So maybe this guy was taken to space. Oh, I don't know. I'm open-minded to it. I'm going to put him
Maybe
in a basement. He's here again. All right, basement. Yes,
it
protection
it
from aliens.
it seems unlikely to me that an alien would
Thank you.
abduct an Air Force pilot.
It seems unlikely to you.
Yeah,
I'd like to know why. Can you clarify a bit more?
because I wouldn't see, if you were gonna, okay, look at it from a colonization perspective of the human race. If we were gonna go and discover a place like Brazil, you're not gonna kidnap the prime minister when you first investigate the population.
Um, well, that makes me think that you're going on the assumption that the aliens know who they're abducting. I mean, is it just random, Ash?
I would presume if you had the power to abduct, you must have some foresight into what you're collecting. A
It's a fair,
fisherman,
okay.
a fisherman doesn't fish blind. He knows what. He kind of has an idea of what fish is after.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand your point, mate, but we can't
I,
presume to know the aliens' agenda or their, if they
I
even exist
suppose.
at all.
I suppose that makes a better point because then the fisherman might not necessarily get the fish he's after. He could always end up with the wrong one. So that's possible. The
Yeah,
the, the hair
go on.
the hair growth. If that was any kind of spiritual experience, I can't explain the hair growth.
Now, the only way I can see is if the guy went to space and came back. That is the only thing I can think of. I've never heard of anything of the sort in any other paranormal realm, spiritual, nothing at all of anything like that. Never before. And I'm quite well read in this stuff.
I suppose another leading theory could speculate that maybe the aliens didn't abduct him. They visited him, and they had some kind of compound or aura that would force keratin growth.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting theory. I can't say I've heard anything of the sort of like that before. That's an interesting thought.
Well, we
Fascinating.
speculate to accumulate, don't we?
Yeah. And I'm just trying to recall anything of the sort. I have heard say that some of these people who've been abducted, they're not being physically abducted. It's, as you said, like a spiritual experience where somehow, I mean, obviously this is all speculation, but somehow they're abducting the soul and not the
I,
physical body.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Well, I'm just relaying what I've learned, not what I actually believe. I've
If
just heard these
conscious,
things.
if consciousness isn't a static force, then it'd make sense that it could potentially be malleable.
Well, the great, late and great Dolores Cannon said that we're connected. She used silver thread. I don't like that terminology myself, but I understand where she's going with it. That we're sort of connected to our soul. So when we astral travel and things of that nature, that we're always tethered to our physical body and we can always get back. But it is possible for us to travel as well. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
Possibly, possibly. On a side note, I've dug a little deeper into the ancient aliens, Waller, and the more I read about it, the less convinced I am. Honestly,
So should we put a little base down for what so people can understand what we're talking about? The ancient alien theory alludes to a lot of ancient archaeologists and scientists They reckon that humanity has been influenced by aliens since our conception, basically, since creation. All technology, the pyramids, all of this sort of stuff was the doing of aliens, according to this theory. However, there is another theory that goes alongside it, I believe anyway, which is the advanced civilization theory. The fact that humans could have had the power to do these things without aliens, and we've lost the technology over the years. I mean, that's two sides of sort of the same coin, depending on who you talk to.
I mean, when I'm looking at these drawings and the script and stuff, all I see is, for the most part, personification of animals into deities, which seems common in ancient
Yeah.
civilizations. The way that those theories could potentially converge, if we took the stoned ape theory and combined that to the idea of aliens, maybe aliens didn't visit the man, maybe the man visited the alien.
This is another strong possibility, a very strong possibility. Maybe these aliens aren't aliens at all, and they are ethereal, spiritual creatures that we only somehow manage to see through, substances.
I think we'd have to
Hello,
have an
Vicky. Hello,
advanced
Phil.
we'd have to have an advanced perception of dimensions to be able to perceive the unperceivable.
Yes, yes. And sometimes I think when shamans are taking these psychedelics,
Mm.
when they're having these psychedelic experiences, they may very well be coming into contact with otherworldly beings. They may well be. And the only
One
way
second,
that
let
you
me.
see them is through substance.
Oh, you're right there, Beef. Yeah, I'm glad that you like the music and stuff, man. We're having as you can see, we're having a tinfoil day today. My comment section is very small, so I'll be missing the messages a lot. I don't know how to make it any bigger, and if anybody knows, enlighten me, and we'll enlighten you.
Also, guys, this isn't just a discussion between me and Ash. We want you to get involved. So if you've got any
Yeah,
questions or any comments, experiences, let us know, please.
the floor is open. The floor is open.
Yes.
It's because you're on a double live. Yeah, I know, but J.A.P tells me on his side, I can point at you like this, that his comment section is bigger than mine. Mine is about this big.
Sorry. Sorry, dude. You know what I'm like. Yeah, I can see about 4 comments on my screen, mate. And then,
I can see 2 lines at best. 2 lines.
that sucks, man.
Yeah, it does. It does suck a bit.
You know why it's like that? It should be the same on every device.
It
They're
could be because I've
stupid.
got a. It could be because I've got a Sony Xperia and they're shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade soon, mate. We're gonna have to get you a little
Uh,
better
I
device.
fucking love PlayStation, but Sony, when it comes to phones, they're taking the piss.
Hey, remember you got to watch the language here. This is a family-friendly show, I think.
Beef. Yes, I do. I do vaguely remember that. I do. But I'll be honest, without being rude, I see so many people a day. It does get very hard to retain who I've seen and who I haven't.
Yeah,
And unless like if you're a frequent person that comes to town on designated days, I've got a much stronger chance of remembering you. But I do meet literally so many people all the time. It gets hard to remember. I try my best. Right, shall we go into story number 2?
one sec. I've got a comment from. I'm going to put you in the basement. We're being abducted by aliens. Not with these things on. We're not.
Oh no,
We're
we're
going to be
safe. We're safe.
fine.
I've got a towel somewhere and I think a bag of peanuts and a beer just in case.
This is a funny thing I heard, actually, seeing as we're talking about abductions. Now, I've only heard it once, and it was many years ago, but apparently, if you eat chocolate before you go to bed, the aliens don't like the chemicals in it, and they won't abduct you.
I don't know, Mr. Gray's just joined, maybe I should ask him.
Yeah, you am, says
I will be
basement.
next bus. I will be busking next when it's not raining, preferably.
Yeah, man.
So just
Bloody love
have a
that.
word with the BBC weather and see if they can get me some sunshine. And I'll be out on road, I promise you. So yeah, story number 2. We've got the long-armed collector, 1971. I'll
Okay.
admit this is the first time I've read this, so as I'm going through it, I'm doing it in real time with you as well. At about 10 p.m. one summer night in 1971, two teenage girls crept from their houses in Sunnyvale, California. Oh, it sounds like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And met up for a neighbourhood stroll. All was still and silent for an hour or so until they came upon a 20 to 30 foot flying ship hovering as low as the street lights, probably a full 5-minute walk ahead of them. The friends watched it drift towards some nearby apartment buildings and appear to survey them, bobbing slightly up and down. It had these great enormous arms on the sides that slowly swiveled around, and they had lines on the ends like ropes. But they weren't ropes, explained one of the friends. It didn't make a noise nor light up, and it looked more like wood than metal. She got the impression it was collecting things, though she couldn't see what was inside. The girls fled in terror when the aircraft abruptly turned its attention on them, and they tried in vain to convince the one friend's father that they had seen something truly extraordinary. He dismissed it as a weather balloon. The witness wrote, "If I am sure of anything, it was no weather balloon."
Well, the times I've heard fucking weather balloon, excuse my French, weather balloon and swamp gas, it's become like a meme in this community now. We make a joke out of it, swamp gas and weather balloon, like, everything swamp gas and a weather balloon. And of course, those things do exist, but you can't explain everything away with bloody swamp gas. Come on.
I agree, I
That,
agree. I
that's, that,
reckon I'm going to argue my point on that. What was the date again? Let me scroll up. It was
that was it.
1971.
Yeah.
1971. It's a drone.
Well, that's a strong, very strong possibility. Also, I've never heard in all my days, and it's been many days of researching UFOs and stuff. Trust me, I'm well read. I've never heard anything like that. Again, that's very, very strange.
Um,
It looked like wood. I mean,
when 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 did War of the Worlds come out?
oh, bloody hell, I should know this. Before that. It was before that, definitely. I think it was the 50s, but don't quote me on that. It was definitely before 70s.
If it was before 71, the arms in particular make it feel like it's going to be a War of the Worlds inspired.
Yeah. When you,
Because
when,
they
when,
described it as pylons with their arms so wobbling and.
Yes, it very much reminded me of War of the Worlds, especially the collection scene from the more modern movie with Tom Cruise. There's those
Yeah,
giant robots grabbing things and putting them in baskets.
I mean
That sounds very similar.
you wouldn't have seen that in 71, but apparently the radio special was horrific from what I've been told. It had all of
Yes,
America up in an uproar. They literally thought it was the end of times.
yes, they did.
We can forgive them on the basis alone that they're American. So I'd say that an exception's to be. And this is set in Sunnyvale, California.
I haven't got too many comments on that one. Oh, sorry, hang on. I think it was the 50s. Yeah, Basement thinks it's the 50s as well. Yeah, it's a case I've not heard of, which is fucking rare for me. It does strike me as odd that they describe the craft as wooden. That's very like almost no, it is unheard of. It's always a metallic craft or a orb of light. It's never wooden. That's so strange.
Wooden in appearance, I don't know, could possibly be plastic looking, potentially.
I like the idea of it being a drone, Ash, because it's a physical explanation for what someone's seen there, and
I
I
think it's
prefer to have that.
feasible.
Yeah, it's going to be people say, "Oh, we didn't have that technology back then." But listen, guys, you've got to realise. Don't be naive. The government and the military are at least 50 years ahead of us, if not 100 years ahead of us. They have technology you can't even dream of.
Standard.
Yes,
Right,
Kyle. Thanks for joining,
I am
pal.
going to take a brief toilet break. I'll be back in a moment.
No problem. You'll have to put up with my ugly mush for a little bit, guys. So if you've got any questions, guys, or anything to add to this discussion, please pipe up. Because we didn't want this to be just me and Ash talking. We want to involve you guys as well. I quoted you, so what you're going to do is I quoted you. I'm going to send the aliens after you. The aliens are coming for your basement. So I tried to get prepared today, guys, and have a little bit of a background. I've drawn a little alien there, and a spaceship, and a little pyramid, and I've got my xenomorph up there. Yeah, let's get him down. Let's show you.
Was it that?
Let's show you my little xenomorph, guy. How fucking cool is that, guys?
What the hell is that?
It's a xenomorph made out of like pipes and stuff, man.
Oh, that's legend, that is.
My
That's
sister
legend.
got it for me. I love him.
You know what, to be fair, reading these stories, at least we can rest assured knowing that no aliens are getting into my brain tonight. I'm
Yeah,
well
when they call you
protected.
xenophobic. Xenophobic. But I'm terrible in on my jokes. Oh, crap.
All right, let's try this story about cows, then, shall we?
Oh,
I- Ironically called Cows Gone Wild, 1975. This is. Two friends were driving along the quiet country roads of LA Fontaine, Indiana, after a fishing trip one evening in 1975. About a quarter mile away, a flying disc with white lights revolving around it appeared and lowered itself gradually until it was completely obscured by a nearby house. They followed behind the house, but only found the cows running all over the road, frightened and mooing. The cows had apparently torn right through the electric fence, and a neighbour soon showed up to see what all the fuss was about. He asked if we knew what happened just because the cows don't break down an electric fence for nothing. The witness said we didn't say anything to anybody about what we had just seen.
well, this brings up the separate but still related subject of cattle mutilation, which is a very real phenomenon.
Yeah, it's a very real phenomenon. I've seen a lot to do with that. It's a little. I do think it's just potentially weirdos mutilating animals, but
I'd love to know how they are getting laser surgical cuts without having any blood spilled anywhere. They're drilling out anuses. There's bits being taken from these animals, and there is not a spot of blood anywhere.
1
Also,
second.
no footprints, nothing of the sort.
So
Very strange.
Kenny wanted to know why the tinfoil boys, and our response to that is to protect our brains from the alien invasion.
Which obviously we're joking, guys. It's
No,
just for a bit of fun. It's just
it's
a bit of fun,
100%. It's 100% factual, man. No aliens are getting in my head. Not with this. Not with this garb.
We need lead, not tin foil, but whatever. Oh, maybe there's the poor cows. Well, yeah, I mean, if you look into this subject, you'll find that they are poor because some really horrific things happen to these animals,
I mean,
and it's not explained yet. No one's explained it. It's not bloody goths going around doing satanic rituals because they don't have laser precision cutting tools for one. For two,
from what
how do you do this without leaving blood everywhere?
from what I know, they're not particularly bothered about cows, Satanists. Anyway, from what I know about Satanists, the limited amount, obviously, that I know about Satanists.
Yeah. Actually, we could do another Tinfoil Tuesday about that one day because I've got a lot to talk about when it comes to that stuff.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week.
Oh, sorry, I had a little.
Did you press? I thought you pressed the pause button by accident.
No.
Oh, that reminds me. 1 second, I'm going to get my battery pack. That makes sense. I charged it for a reason.
Yeah, I've got mine plugged in as we talk. To be honest, can't risk it running out while we're chatting. I'll tell you something though, chat. These tinfoil hats, they may look silly, but they are warm.
Oh, very, very warm.
I mean, I'm sweating underneath this. So I hope you
I've, I've,
understand
I've,
that, guys, because we're talking about it quite light-heartedly as well. We can get deep, but we don't want to. We want to be entertaining while we talk as well. Don't want to get too
it's
moody, so to speak.
just a just a general chit chat, eh?
Yeah,
So as for the cows one, I feel like maybe that was more a comet that maybe obscured its distance over the back of a house and probably startled the cows because they're sensitive to nature.
yeah. That doesn't. I'm afraid that doesn't. It doesn't explain the revolving lights.
Only two people have seen these revolving lights.
It's better than just one, but it's still not good enough.
You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure when I was a young nipper myself, walking down some country lanes, me and a friend of mine saw some conspicuous lights and formulated an opinion about it. In fact, that's a good idea, J.A.P. Have you had an alien encounter yourself, or?
Well, I want before I go into that. Vicky, my friend, she
You're
said
right, Vic.
she once saw a very bright light that split off into three parts and flew off in different directions. That's 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 weird. That's weird,
That
but
isn't.
not uncommon. The three lights thing is actually very common. The thing with that is though, the military have a triangular shaped craft called a TR-3B. This thing is seen and declared as a UFO so many fucking times over the years. However, yours is different because you say that the lights flew off in different directions. So that wasn't one solid craft. That was three different whatever they were. That was
You
three
know, no.
different things. That's interesting, that is, Vic. I've seen
It's
bright lights in the sky doing strange patterns, figure eights, triangles. I once saw a UFO, and I'm not. I had a witness to this actually. Cannon was with me at the time. This thing zipped into the sky, like, and then just started going slow across the sky. Got so far and just went up and up and up until I couldn't see it anymore. Now, as far as I know, there's no technology that we have that can do that. And then start going like this. If there was any biological creature inside of that thing, it would have been destroyed. It would have been splattered. So it could have been a drone. There wasn't any commercial drones at the time, but that's not to say that it wasn't a military drone or something of the sort. It could have been, but it was so far away. The speed it coming at and the way it just kept ascending until it disappeared. I don't know of any other craft that can do that apart from what we call UFOs. I've never seen any conventional craft that can do that. In fact, I
you
don't
know
even think a drone could have done that.
I'm going to speculate based on human perception alone that drones themselves, like when have you seen recently they do fireworks displays now with drones?
Oh, oh, it's amazing, mate. Yeah, I've seen that. It's absolutely amazing. They can do some cool
Uh,
stuff.
a bit like a hoverfly, our perception, our eyes, we can't fix it. So we see these rapid changes, and when they're doing the fireworks, the displays, and the lights, all these drones are moving. We don't see their movement.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So it really could be that drones have been in existence for a very long time, which is why they're commercialised now. And simply our eyes, a bit like a hoverfly, we can't track it quick enough, so the brain just tries to, it just leaves a blank.
Yes. Yes. That
Like it's
makes
gone
sense.
from point A to point B, but we don't know where this happened.
Well, it goes like this in this community. There's 95% of things that we see are easily explained by natural phenomenon, definitely. And of course, that comes into play as well, Ash. The fact that we perceive things so badly, you know,
Mm.
We probably only see 1% of the real spectrums, for instance. I don't know, but that's a bit speculative. But there's
It's a
still the
fair
five
if
percent that's left,
it's
not explained.
it's a fair speculation, because if a dog, as we presume it, sees in only black and white at long distance, and it still knows where everything is around it, its brain is doing the rest.
Yeah, I see myself personally, dude. I don't believe they've got it quite right when it comes to animals and what they can see.
No, no,
I think
me
they've got an
neither.
idea, they've got a grasp, but
We
I
take
don't think they truly know myself, mate.
we
I'm
we
digressing
take a
there.
strong educated guesses of all. That's all we
Yeah,
really have.
that's all. That's all of our science and everything, if you ask me. But yeah, that is
So
a good point to bring up, mate. The perception thing is very strong. To your average person, they're seeing a light in
thank
the
you.
sky, it's moving, it's a UFO. But most of the time, it's a bloody plane, and you can't see the flashing lights,
I
or it's coming
really, I,
straight at you, and it looks like it's just hovering, but it's not. It's coming at you.
I really couldn't explain that footage I saw earlier this week, where it looked like a Boeing had frozen in the sky, and they're saying it's an optical illusion. I still can't get my head around that.
Okay,
And thank you, Gemma.
so it's to do with parallax and scrolling. Um, in some of these instances, it is an optical illusion because you're traveling past it. It seems to be staying still, but it's not. However, that one that you sent to me,
I wasn't
there's
convinced by that.
no
No,
way.
I
That,
wasn't
that
convinced.
one you sent me, mate, that's not an optical illusion. However, I've got no explanation for that. I really don't know what to say. But honestly, I can't think of anything that would create that illusion apart from that parallax things I've just mentioned. But the angle, that angle was like above the plane, looking
Hmm.
down. It's not like going like this. So I don't know. I don't know, mate. There's ones with birds as well. Birds just frozen in flight in the air. How is
Uh,
this?
let's go back to one of these comments a minute, so I can. Like when a flow of water stops in midair. Yeah, like when a flow of water stops in midair. It just, some of these things are without explanation, only speculation.
Yeah, at the
We're
moment,
just
mate.
we're simply guilty as humans for presuming that we know all the answers when we don't.
It's not only this as well. The world of the paranormal and supernatural and all that sort of stuff. It's exciting. People want to believe.
Mm.
So I mean, there's been encounters I've had with the paranormal, which I've managed to debunk afterwards. But at the time, it was like, did I just see a ghost? I really wanted to see a ghost, so I kind of fooled myself that I did see a fucking ghost, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
not just our
complete.
perception; it's our willingness to sort of just bow down to silly things.
Or maybe even the desire to affirm these things that are unexplainable, to give it some kind of understandability or validation.
Yeah, well, I think we are desperate. We're desperate to do that. When we don't understand a thing, we sort of have to put a label on it just so as we can let it go.
Well, for the guy on your side of the channel talking about the triangular shaped craft,
Yeah,
this will be a good one. So all of these references, by the way, are from the UFO Reporting Center in the USA. So it's all well. So these are like actual things that were issued to the government for them to look into. So this is the Vanishing Silver Ship, 1979. From his front porch in Wenatchee, Washington, a man watched a silver triangular aircraft with no discernible fuselage, no wings or other protruding control devices, coast slowly over the top of a 150 feet tall poplar tree. A jetliner could not have stayed airborne at such a sedate rate of speed, he recalled, and this was significantly larger than a Boeing 747. There wasn't much time to wonder about the physics that kept the craft in flight because it was drifting straight towards Birch Mountain. My immediate thought was that a monstrous crash was imminent, the witness explained, but it never came to pass. Instead, the UFO just disappeared. The FORC, which is the people that you complain about UFOs to, actually vouched for this particular onlooker. One of two excellent reports from the same witness, they wrote in a note below the report. We know this witness and have spoken with him on several occasions. He formerly served in the US military and on high security clearance.
Okay. So, yeah, going back to that, triangular crafts are very, very common. It's like next to discs, it's the next most seen thing. Um, I think there might be some of these craft, possibly, could be extraterrestrial. But through my research, I found that the military do have triangular crafts, secret black ops technology, and they're called PR-3Bs. They make up for a lot of UFO encounters. Now, I know, guys, you might think that we're trying to debunk and we're not believers or whatever, but we're trying to be level about this. Um, you can't get to the truth if you listen to the lies all the time. I personally want to prove that UFOs and aliens are real, but I can't do that if I listen to all the bullshit and watch all the fake videos. Basement says he's caught aliens in his basement. Or her, sorry, I'm not.
I think,
Don't
can you
assume
see that?
gender. Yes, you see that quite clearly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a lot more than just the craft, actually. I think maybe, hate for this to converge, but as all of these craft, especially the ones that are popular, are triangular in shape with these three particular lights, polygons are the central basis of a simulation.
I know where you're going, dude. I
And
think I know where you're going.
it seems that the triangle has been sacred since, I don't know, man was picking up rocks and wondering what the rock was.
Well, look at the Triforce symbol. It's an ancient Japanese symbol, isn't it?
I don't understand what the correlation is just yet, but obviously the triangle has some significant impact universally.
Possibly, yeah. Yes, Kyle. No worries, mate. It's fine. It's all right, mate. Kyle just said he's been in, but he couldn't comment just yet for some reason. But there he is. The aliens want us in the basement, says basement.
Now you see, like, you take that image of a triangle in its 2D form,
Ah.
you can see the 3D polygon, but the triangle has the ability to be so much more than a 3D shape.
Well, yes, as Kyle's just said, and quite rightly so. Pyramids are 3D triangles.
Hmm.
There's something to be had there, I think.
It's been a symbol it's crossed all of our cultures, all of our races, all of our countries, for as long as we've had recorded verbal, oral, or written history.
Yeah.
That can't be a coincidence.
There has to be some significance to that. I believe that, yeah.
Which maybe in the past these lights, these polygons, these triangles, maybe they existed, maybe people saw them, maybe that's why there's depictions of them, maybe that's where we get the idea of a triangle from.
Yeah, I mean, like sacred geometry and things like that. People have seen this stuff, and it's affected their lives big time.
Question, and that's to anybody that's in the comments. General question. Name one natural object that is triangular in shape. Because I'm thinking about it and I can't. Not a mountain, not a
Phil
tree.
says, Phil says a pyramid has a square base. I think we're just fucking stating facts now, are we, guys?
what was that?
A pyramid has a square base.
Yes, it does indeed.
What shape does light
Which,
go through now? Ah, good
yeah, a
point.
prism, a
Light,
triangle, a triangle.
light can create triangles, yeah. But
So
can you
this
think of any
is really
natural
pushing
appearing
at the.
object? Guys, anyone think of any natural occurring object without any manipulation from man to have it as a triangle? I can't think of anything, maybe there's some rocks out there, but they would have been formed by weather erosion.
Even then, they're not perfect triangles.
No? Shit, man. Yeah, that's a good point, I can't think of anything that's triangular in nature.
Neither could I.
Shit,
Even the
man.
Bermuda Triangle, even the Bermuda Triangle itself is just something that we drew lines on.
Plants. Kyle, what do you mean by plants, mate? Sorry. They could be triangular, is that what you mean?
Which plant?
Well, I mean, if you look at the leaves, yeah, I suppose they're kind of triangular. I suppose that you could see a Christmas tree as a triangle, but
You know what? I'm gonna Google this real quick because it's annoying me. Well, ask the Almighty God, which is Google.
only certain plants. Yeah,
Let's have a
I
look.
can see that, Kai. I can see that. They're triangular, but they're not
Okay,
actual
yeah.
triangles.
This is what it's telling me that yeah, the shapes are triangular in shape, but they're not a perfect triangle.
But, no way. Thanks, Google.
You're welcome.
Well, it is a natural object, Kyle, but like Google's just said, it's triangular, not an actual triangle. But
It seems
a good,
it
there's a good comment.
it seems there's a correlation between the triangle and the number 3, and that threes are common.
We're getting into numerology now.
But I can't see anything that's definitively triangular.
Still got 3 points. That's right, Kyle. Yeah, yeah,
Well, we're
yeah,
on a
yeah.
scoring system. We're on a scoring system now.
No, we said 3 points. He's on about the 3 points of the triangle.
Every time someone says something weird, I'm doing this shit.
I'm gonna have to get one of them sample boxes so I can just hit buttons and stuff.
The,
That'd be fun.
yeah, I was thinking that I need a little sample box with little noises to kick off.
You know the one I've got to
Or
have.
if in the future we haven't had
Pull up! Has anyone
somebody on
else?
my comment section said, "Sorry, you're breaking up a bit there. You clear yet?"
You go ahead, mate. You go ahead.
There we go. There we go. Somebody in my comment section said the thorn of a rose, but I still disagree that a thorn. I don't think a thorn of a rose is triangular because it's bent. So it's
Yeah,
triangular. It's triangular, but it's not a triangle.
it's slightly curved, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Look, you've stumped me, and I think really we've stumped the chat because
I've
nothing's been
stumped myself.
satisfactory yet.
I've stumped myself.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
Oh
rare
man.
for you, mate.
It is indeed. It is.
Kyle says the plant itself isn't triangle, as weird as that sounds. No, it's just some of the leaves in it. Some of the leaves. And depending on what plant we're talking about, I imagine.
Oh, sorry. I missed a comment there. I'll go back. Just flicking through, seeing you to piss myself laughing. Good to be. That is what we're here for, by the way. It's not. Yeah. We're not actually defending ourselves from aliens.
Vicky says she's got nothing either, mate. We've stumped them. There's no triangle.
I've stumped myself. It's annoying the crap out of me.
It's unusual for you as well with your massive bloody mind.
Yet the circle, which completes the triangle, the circle is predominant in all of nature. The circle is
Well,
everywhere.
Yeah, but people are going to argue that it's not perfect circles.
Leonardo da Vinci argues that the Bavarian man was a perfect circle, and as far as maths goes, it is.
Hmm. Fair play, fair play. I mean, I can't say that the Earth is round. Don't get that twisted because it's not
It's
flipping flat. It's
it's
slightly
round.
egg
It's
shaped.
roundish. It's roundish.
Yeah, it's slightly egg shaped.
But
Explain a little more on that, Ash, please, says Kyle. Which bit, Kyle? Sorry, mate. Sorry, because we're moving so quickly sometimes.
hold on. Somebody called Lee said when you cut a cucumber in half, half of the
Okay.
seeds are in a triangular shape. So I need to Google this because I need to know. I need to know for myself.
You
I'm
could
gonna have
say
a look at cucumber seeds.
you could say the same for bananas. When you cut a banana,
Let me just get my images up and have a decent
well,
gander.
dude, the comments are coming through damn good. Kyle wants you to explain how the circle is predominant in nature first, please, mate.
Okay, no, cucumber seeds aren't triangular. They are. I'll draw it for you. They are of this nature, which I suppose is an eye shape. This is also very common. That's what a cucumber seed looks like.
I think they mean when you look in the cross section of the cucumber, the shape that the seeds are, the formation that the seeds are in inside of the cucumber is what they mean, I think, dude. But even then, it's not
No,
making a triangle because they're separate. There's no lines connecting them. They're just.
so the commenter said that the holes in the cucumber once the seeds are removed is where it's triangular. But I'm looking at that as well, and that's very inconsistent. For the most part, it looks like pot marks. Maybe every now and again it comes out as a triangle by accident, but
Yeah.
it's definitely not. It's not a common denominator.
No. That's the same as bananas. When you cut a banana in half, you can sort of get a triangle shape from the seeds sometimes.
Yeah, if every now and again you get a triangle, it just proves that it wasn't in its natural design. It's more of a fluke.
Yeah, yeah. I've just got to explain to the chat. The comments on my side, Ash cannot see, so I have to read them out for him. For some reason, we're not sharing a comment section. It's a bit crappy, to be honest. So Kyle wants you to clarify a bit more what you mean by the circle being quite predominant.
Well, okay, so planets aren't necessarily completely circular, but then again, they've been bashed and hammered essentially by comets and stuff. But it stands out to me that they were circular to begin with, and everything on a microbial level, like the more you zoom in, is circular. The closer, and this is where the simulation theory comes in again. I'm gonna draw this out to make a little more sense of it. As I say, there's always two numbers in nature and the world. There's the 0, and then there's the 1, which comes across like this. Now, I find that this system continually repeats, whether it's in planets, blood cells, whether it's bacteria. And
Like,
when you
like
zoom
a
in,
fractal.
when and this is my argument with the flat Earth people, even though we're the ones with the hats on. when when you take a circle and you zoom in close enough for long enough, it's no longer circular; it's a line.
Well, okay.
Right, so I'll do it again. That's a very badly drawn circle. But if you were to zoom in where the cross is, and if you
Ah,
were to zoom in
right.
with all your might where that cross is, you're going to find a straight line.
Yes,
So
yes.
everything is flat and round at the same time. It's weird.
That is a weird one. That is a weird one. Vicky makes an interesting comment here,
You're
mate, to
right.
be honest.
You're right, Kyle.
She says,
So a little bit of a break.
Sorry, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's just breaking up. I was waiting for you. It's all right.
Ah, okay. Kyle, sorry, Vicky says, so the triangle is more or less man-made. What?
It
Uh,
appears that way.
do you know what I
It
mean,
appears that
dude?
way.
What a question.
It, ap-
Did you know
it.
that years
Let
ago
me,
the ancients didn't have a conception of the colour blue as well? They had the
let me
colour
draw
blue
it
didn't
again for
exist
you.
years ago. How strange is that?
Yeah, I remember that. People didn't even know the sky was blue.
Yeah, they had no conception of the colour blue whatsoever. So weird.
There you go. I'm a terrible drawer, but I think that's what happens.
Hmm, interesting. That's like polygons again, making up,
Yeah, once
making
again,
up a whole
polygons.
picture.
Without a polygon, you can't make a 3D image, so the triangle must be indicative to the 3D image, however man-made up in here. We see triangles, and they
Weird.
seem to be a constant, with or without our choice. I am. You know what, J.A.P? We've got another 6 stories to go through, and
Okay.
we are we are 15 minutes to when we're supposed to clock off. So do you want to extend this?
Yeah, sure. Why not, man? Why not? Do you want to see more
Cool.
chat? If you want more,
Well,
let us know.
I'm going to take a toilet break. One moment.
No problem, mate. No
Opinion means
problem.
very little to me.
Why, Jerry? Why expend
Right.
the effort?
Life is effort, and I'll
What?
stop when I die.
What is that?
Having a family doesn't mean that you stop being an individual. You know the best thing you can do for people that
That
depend on you? Be honest with them, even if it means setting them free.
You're saying I should leave Jerry?
that sounded a bit like
I
Mr.
can't
Poopy
believe I'm
Butthole
finally having
from
this
Mick and
conversation.
Rorty. I call it Mick and Rorty because I'm a
I
Billy
feel like I've spent
Southgate.
my life pretending you're a great
I
guy
know,
and
mate.
trying to
Playing
be
in the
like
background,
you.
he's
And
clicked
the ugly
something as
truth
it's
has
gone
always
off.
been
That I'm not that great a guy and you're exactly like
And
me.
I can't control that this end, can I?
my evil.
Worse, you're smart. When you know nothing matters, the
Rick and
universe is
Morty.
yours. And I've never met a universe that was into it. The universe is basically an animal. It grazes on the ordinary. It creates
I hope we don't
infinite
get like
idiots just to eat them.
copyrighted or
Not
something for
unlike your
this.
friend Timmy.
Tommy.
It hardly matters now, sweetie. You know, smart people get a chance to climb on top, take reality for a ride, but it'll never stop trying to throw you. And eventually it will. There's no other way off. And you're gonna keep your mouth
Yeah,
shut about
Tommy,
it, Morty.
has the
Because
sound
the
been
world is
okay
full of
between
idiots
me
that
and
don't
that?
understand what's important.
Has it been
And they'll
alright?
tear us apart, Morty. But if you stick with me, I'm gonna accomplish great things, Morty. And you're gonna be part of them. So I wouldn't have to come here.
Why didn't you want to come here?
Because I don't respect therapy. Because I'm a scientist. Because I invent, transform, create, destroy for a living. And when I don't like something about the world, I change it. And I don't think going to a rented office in a strip mall to listen to some agent of averageness explain which words mean which feelings has ever helped anyone do anything.
Oh,
I think it's helped
I
a lot
love
of
Rick
people
and
get
Morty.
comfortable and stop
Bloody
panicking,
brilliant.
which is a state of mind we value
But
in
I
the
don't
animals
think
we
you
eat,
should be
but not
playing it
something I
on
want for
screen.
myself. I'm not a cow. I'm a pickle. When I feel like it, so
Pickle Rick!
you asked.
You are the master of your universe, and yet you are dripping with rat blood and feces, your enormous mind literally vegetating by your own hand. I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless by therapy,
Classic
the same
episode.
way I'm bored when I brush my teeth and wipe my ass. Because the thing about repairing, maintaining, and cleaning is, it's not an adventure. There's no way to do it so wrong you might die. It's just work. And the bottom line is, some people are okay going
Almost lost my hat then.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something about Rick and Morty playing in the background. Oh, he's done it. You've done it.
I've done it.
So do you want to proceed to the next story then, dude, and we'll give our thoughts?
I will do. Let me just rescind the comments I've missed. Almost pentagrammy. Yeah, I suppose things are a bit pentagrammy in a strange way that I can't explain.
Yeah, that diagram you drew did have pentagram vibes.
There's got to be some truth to all of this, because it's all. It's more than a coincidence. It's all very convergent. You know, like I'm playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Mirage at the moment, and
Yeah.
and it's heavily, it's historically accurate, and it's a lot about Baghdad and stuff like that. Even in the architecture, 3,000 years ago, I'm seeing these polygons, circles and triangles are just, they're replicated in our buildings, in the foundations of our buildings. You know, I'm literally sitting on a bunch of polygons right now.
Makes me wonder what the stone Freemasons actually knew. You know what I'm saying?
They were clued up on some stuff. That's why they formed a cult over it, obviously, to keep that
Yeah.
knowledge to themselves.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody building pyramids now, can you?
Precisely.
You know, if everybody's got a pyramid, they're not so special when you see one.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got 1982 next. The Glowing Grey Nighttime Visitor, it's titled. A man in Leicester, England. I was half tempted to do this in a Scottish accent at one point, but I've gone off it now. A wee man in Leicester, England, awoke one night in 1982 to find a soft light illuminating in his room. It was coming from the face of a 4-foot-tall grey creature that resembled the classic aliens from 1977's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The witness, overwhelmed. It's a good accent on it. Okay, I'll go back to English.
Thanks, Kyle.
So,
You're a good mate.
So yeah, a man in Leicester, England awoke one night in 1982 to find a soft light illuminating his room. It was coming from the face of a 4-foot-tall grey creature that resembled the classic aliens from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Bearing in mind this is in 1982 and Close Encounters was in 1977, we'll hold on to the point. The witness, overwhelmed with a feeling of calm and peace, pinched himself several times to make sure he wasn't simply dreaming and scanned the room in vain for some other explanation. Knowing he'd have a tough time convincing anybody he was telling the truth, he nudged his wife awake so she could bear witness too. But as soon as she stirred, the room went completely black and the visitor vanished. Did I imagine or dream the whole thing? He wrote in his report. Absolutely 1,000,000% no. I'm going to put this one... I'm putting this one down to lucid dreaming.
Yeah, either lucid dreaming or sleep paralysis.
I reckon he watched Close Encounters of the Third Kind somewhere between 97 and 82. Fell asleep on his back one time, had sleep apnea, and believed he saw grey aliens in his room like E.T.
Through every account I've come across, there's never any speak of these creatures being their own light source, giving off their own light. That sounds very unusual to me. Kyle, no, it wasn't a dream. There was having dreams about aliens in Close Encounters, but it wasn't all a dream. The aliens did come down at the end, and they interacted. In the end.
Michael Whitten. Yes, the other guy is from Wolves Highway.
Okay, we are.
We are.
From space, really. Hey, has your hat got a lining? Huh?
Lining?
Look at that. See, half-assed, mate. You're going to make a tinfoil hat. You're going to do it right, my dude.
I can't believe you worked so hard on your tinfoil hat.
It took me 2 seconds, bro.
This took me like 10 minutes.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like you've had experience making tinfoil hats before.
I'm gonna use the wife's advice next time and just put the colander on my head and put the tinfoil over the colander.
Hey, that's a good idea, that.
Well, that way I can be a pastafarian and an alien ambassador at the same time.
Pastafarian. Wasn't it based on a true story where a man killed his family, like the film? That's not Close Encounters of the Third Kind, dude. I don't know what film you're thinking of there. The only film I can think of where a man went mad and killed his family is the Amityville Horror, which is nothing to do with aliens.
Michael Whitten says he feels like he knows you.
Michael Whitten? I'm not sure I know that name, I'm afraid.
Whitten or Whiten, I don't know how to pronounce it. But what do you make of this? What do you make of this while I've been working on the drawings?
You've combined the few there, haven't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all the shapes, and it. I wonder if that's what's behind. I wonder if that's why we see in polygons. It's got to be something to do with the engineering. Oh, Michael Whitten asked if you were a skater.
Yes, I'm a skateboarder. You've probably seen me up Penn Road Skate Park or something, or Civic, something like that. Yeah, I used to do a lot of skateboarding.
You like which picture? The the Jesus Christ pose, or me in a tinfoil hat? Oh, the eye, the eye.
I took
Yeah.
that photograph, by the way, chat. It was me.
Yes, yes, you did.
And I wish I hadn't now,
As-
because he's like, oh, ooh, look at me.
Michael Whiten said he thinks that you know his older brother. What's your name?
My name, J.A.P. Everyone calls me J.A.P.
And I'll let you know when he decides to answer that. But
Then,
yeah, there's definitely something about the triangle. This is all very weird, actually. It's turning itself into a whole. I feel like I don't even need the stories anymore. But I've committed to something.
we barely mentioned Ancient Aliens. I knew this was going to happen as well. I knew we was just going to. But this is the fun. This is the fun of this subject. I think there's so many different facets and angles to come from that there's no way you're ever going to stick onto one subject when it comes to this, because there's just so many conjoining things.
You're gonna like this next story because it's probably got a band in that you're happy with.
Okay.
Oh, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, I've played Call of Duty Zombies, of course I have.
I love zombies.
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. Like back when couch co-op was a thing, it was pretty cool.
I'm absolutely obsessed with the Ether storyline. It was so fucking good, man. That was
It's pretty
so
cool.
good.
All right, so we've got the disembodied search beam, 1988.
Okay.
3 friends were on their way home from a INXS concert
In excess, yeah, I remember them.
in Pittsburgh when they encountered a ball of light sweeping a very bright beam of light over the dark road and its surroundings. They promptly pulled over, and 2 of them excited the car so they could get a better look. The 3rd friend remained in the car screaming. Though the light resembled a helicopter search beam, there was no hint of any craft or body emitting the beam, even when it faced away. Furthermore, the whole scene was completely silent. They quickly returned to the car where the beam drew closer. It suddenly darted away and disappeared into the night. When they resumed their journey, the radio played static before cutting out completely. We heard a commentator say, "Further evidence that there is life on Mars," and then it went back to static.
The radio thing really puts a piece of shit on that story for me. But until you got to the radio thing, I was thinking, oh, that's interesting. That sounds like things I've heard before. The silence, the search beam. But there are stealth helicopters out there. You do know that, guys. Come on.
The
But
radio thing for me.
Yeah, go
The
on, sorry.
radio thing for me, that makes it more convincing than less.
To me, it sounds like they've made it up and they've embellished that little bit, that little detail, just to make it seem a bit more spooky.
You see, I feel that if interstellar travel is happening, we don't travel at the speed of light. We travel in sound frequencies.
Yeah.
Light's too fast. It's too fast. It'll crumble you into nothing. There'd be nothing left of you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, sound it's feasible. It's slower, but it's feasible.
It's still pretty quick. Oops.
And you know, like say with a ghost thing, seeing as it's Halloween and everything, with ghosts and that, static disturbances are not uncommon.
Well, Kyle's just said it's true, but you can pick up any channel, and it could be a channel that you're not meant to get on. So he's trying to explain the radio thing. It's just picked up
That
something.
That is true. That is true. You can cross frequencies.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's a
Uh,
plausible explanation if it truly happened. It's a plausible
so,
explanation.
some of these ghost things, yeah, when people are listening to the white noise and they think that they hear their relatives or stuff,
Yeah.
I swear to God that this is because scientifically, as far as we know, sound never ends. It just continues to travel. If a recording is made in our Earth and the sound is emitted in a frequency, that frequency can't leave our atmosphere. It will continue to circulate. So maybe when you're listening to your white noise, you're accidentally picking up a World War II frequency from 1942 or something, like a hangover, a little snippet of it.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Well, they've got these ghost box things now that they walk around and it just keeps you and saying random words.
Yeah, what
Now,
white noise?
to me, that's just them picking up red radio frequencies and random words, and that's it. I'm
I'll
afraid.
admit,
I believe in ghosts, but I don't think the ghost box is a good tool. I think it's a bag of shit.
you know what? I'll admit this. I've been guilty of listening to extended periods of white noise for no explainable reason, and even if it's recorded white noise, which if it's recorded white noise, you would expect the voices you hear to be the same every single time because it's a recording.
Yeah.
They're not. And if you listen to an hour of white noise with your eyes closed, you will hear people talking to you. I can't explain why, but you will. You will.
Your brain's doing something there. Your brain's doing
Probably.
something there.
It's either that or if you look at white noise, it's the same as pixels on a television, but the sound version rather than the light version. So it's a bunch of different sounds. All they've got to be unscrambled at the other end in order for it to be audible.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
And then the power of our brains just leaves yet another question, I suppose.
Uh, Kyle says he believes you about the sound frequencies. Vicky's finding this very interesting. I'm glad to hear that, mate. Vibrations, Kyle says, I think stores the sound. Not quite, Kyle. It's being transmitted through vibrations. It's travelling on vibration, so to speak.
Here's an interesting thought for you, J.A.P. I thought this to myself earlier in the day, actually, my own musings, because it baffled me. Something
That's it,
you're
mate.
probably more familiar with. The CS Spectrum. Do you remember this machine?
Continue, mate. It might refresh my memory as you.
It was it was a video games console from like the 70s when this was a new thing.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
before floppy disk, they're using audio cassettes and
Yes.
getting images from it. How? How?
That's right. But that's right, Bart. It was the ZX Spectrum. My mate Bart's just said it's the ZX Spectrum. He's right. Yeah. Yeah. How are you putting? I mean, I still find it fascinating that they put audio stuff on that.
The
But how are
fact
they
that this
putting
happens,
visual? How
the
does it do?
fact that this happens, it simply proves more to the theory that sound doesn't just capture sound.
Yeah, well, I mean, we ain't talking about aliens anymore, but I think sound and light are intrinsically linked. I think that everything, all matter in this universe, is created through different vibrations of sound and light.
I think you might be correct.
Solid matter, like really inanimate objects, for instance, they are vibrating at a different frequency to.
See, that's the other interesting point, isn't it? That these frequencies, sound in particular, somebody else said cymatics. You know what cymatics is?
Cymatics. I think that's. Sorry, dude. Funny enough, you've just mentioned that. I think that's what Kyle's on about. The water in the glasses when they put. Do you mean Kyle when they put sounds through it and it creates patterns? Because that's what
Yes,
cymatics is.
that's what cymatics is. But it's
Yes,
just
mate.
dawned on me it's just dawned on me this instant. Cymatics is the only place a perfect triangle actually exists.
You've blown my fucking mind, dude.
Because I've seen it, and
I have.
I've seen them do it with sand on a speaker.
Yes, and another thing about this is it is 100% repeatable. You can do this and get the
Yeah,
same
and you
patterns and
and
same frequencies every time.
every time
That's
exactly.
basically
So the
not random.
triangle the triangle exists as a
Sound
compound,
frequency?
as a compound of sound, almost like
Oh,
an
you just
evolution.
blow my fucking mind, bro.
So shapes are an evolution of sounds, like it says, "For I am the word."
Yes. Yes, dude. They are a direct result from sound. So where we're going here is we're placing way more importance on the way sound forms things. We could be formed ourselves from sound. It'd be quite intricate. It wouldn't be just a geometrical shape, of course, but I don't know. I don't know. That's what this is for, man. It's speculation. Ash,
In a
can you hold the stream a sec, mate? I've got to pop to the loo.
Yeah, I'll hold it, no problem. I've got a.
I've got to
I'll
visit the little girl's room.
It's all right. I'll play a song by myself. I'll do some unhinged advertising.
Yeah, man. Selfless. Sorry. Oh, I forgot the bloody word now. Never mind. Back in a sec, guys.
So I might just. I suppose this is what this is here for, isn't it? I can. There we go. I'm in an attic, man. The roof's low. I'm gonna have to take one ear out so I can hear myself. Alien's real, no one knows. But Jack went to the toilet, that blows. And now he's back with tinfoil on his head. I can barely remember the last thing we said, but it was probably good. And a little profound.
What a noun. The
And
guitar
now
come
we
out.
understood. There's no light without sound.
Yes, Sonny. Thanks for joining, bro. Nice. Nice.
Little interlude, little interlude.
Well,
I knew I kept.
what a noun,
Oh shit!
Sonny, with the great
I'm knocking my
fucking
lamp
music.
over and everything, man.
Vicky says, tell Ash he's brilliant. I love it.
Thank
Sonny
you.
says, he's reporting us to the aliens wearing tin hats.
Oh, how do you think I got here? You know, like they say, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Anyway, before we went to the toilet, it took me back to that image, that one.
Yeah.
And let me just draw it a little differently.
Kyle, did you notice that he made that up on the spot? He does that on the street. He plays the guitar in front of an audience and makes up songs as he goes along. It's fucking brilliant. Oh, I see what you're doing there, dude.
Where's the difference? There isn't one.
Damn.
You know what, now that I think about it, especially with me doing this on paper, like freeform, because I never do this on my own. I don't sit here and draw pictures of the universe, I just think about it.
Yeah.
This is where all of our symbols come from. Because we didn't have the language. It was the best we could do was a rudimentary diagram.
I think so. And I think that people have become aware of these shapes through sacred geometry, through people having trips, basically, mate.
To an extent, or severe injuries, anything like that. So should we go to story number 7?
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
We've got 11. We've got 11 to get through, so we're on 7. I will admit
Coil, sorry. Thanks for going back and forth, mate.
I'm half tempted to.
I've realised as well, Ash, that we aren't sharing a viewership. We're both getting separate viewership here as well. So it's not only separate comments.
I've realised that myself. I wish there was a way to do that without having you as a little box in the side.
It'd be awesome to actually share the stream properly, wouldn't it?
You know what? TikTok's only been around, 3 years probably, tops? Like, start of lockdown.
Yeah.
They'll probably get there, man.
Yeah, I imagine they will. They're always adding new features and stuff, aren't they?
I reckon so. And audience inclusion is going to be key to success on everybody's account.
Yeah, I think so. You know, yeah.
I mean, either that. I mean, I've got 2 viewers at the minute, but I could. It's been between 2 and 10, on and off. I wonder if I sit here going, "Oh, thank you for the rose. Thank you for the. Oh, I got a moustache."
That was fucking ace timing. That was. That was ace timing. What
oh, fuck me.
That couldn't have been better timing, that couldn't.
I'll laugh like a donkey.
Aliens are real. Aliens are real. Aliens
I'll do
real.
it. Beep, beep, beep. I am an alien. Oh, that's a robot. But nevertheless, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's weird.
Oh, fuck it up. Hey,
just before you go on to the next story, I've got Sonny. He's one of my close friends from Facebook and in real life. He might have some. Sonny, if you've got any experiences that you've had yourself, please drop them in the comments so we can have a little chat about them. We want y'all to be involved in this. You're not just sitting and watching, guys. You're a part of it.
I'm gonna briefly drop in the 2. I've had 2 extraterrestrial experiences. The first, myself personally. Now, the first one, I was about 16 or 17, and it was in Dunstall, down a rural road in Dunstall near Penkridge, so it's like countrified as hell, right in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Me and my mate Petch, we'd just been confronted by a badger, which we promptly backed away from and decided to walk the mile round the field back to the farm, because he lived on a farm, on a horse farm. And in the sky on the way back, and it was a new year. I can't remember what year it was. It'd probably been like 2000.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you.
It would have been 2012, 2013, something like that. And we looked up the sky, and there was something that resembled like a star. Only this star was flashing, which we'd never seen before. And we counted the flashes as zeros and ones, and this event went on for about 10-15 minutes solid. And we were both there in disbelief, just after being confronted by a badger, staring at this light in the sky. Middle of the night, middle of the winter, probably 2013. As we got home, we counted the flashes as zeros and ones, and we typed in the corresponding flashes into Google, and in binary code, the conversation was, "We are here, let us in."
That's freaking creepy, bro. Whoa,
and we were like, we were like 17, so that freaked us the fuck out, and we told a few people about it, and we never kind of investigated it ever again. The only other time it happened to me was in, and this is probably more, the second one is probably more a government thing, but when I was homeless and I was opposite the WV5 complex, the sports ground in Aldersley, I was living on the canal side in a tent, and once again, late on that evening, these beings that resembled this shape, there was 3 of them, and they moved in ominous directions for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then there was fighter jets in the air shortly after, and it wasn't just me that saw that. There was at least 4 or 5 people that saw that, and none of us could explain what it was. We put it down to military drills, really, and we were stone cold sober.
Hmm.
You know, I've never,
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting you to have had any experience of your own because I wouldn't call you a skeptic or a non-believer, but
I am a skeptic.
I would say that you're a healthy skeptic. I would say that you're more grounded than most paranormal people or conspiracy people. You're more grounded and more realistic about things. So I
It's
was expecting
simply
you to tell me your experience and then debunk it.
no. If I could have debunked these things, I would have. That would be
I see.
crucial to me.
I see. So
But
it's
I couldn't. I've
definitely an
got no.
unexplained phenomena.
Yeah. I've got no explanation. Literally none.
Yeah, I've seen many strange lights doing strange things in the skies. It's really difficult these days because of all the different secret uh, black ops projects. You know, the secret technology they've
Yeah,
got, all the different things that
my
people are
commenters are
into.
saying the same thing, and for the most part, I do speculate it to be military is just the most likely scenario. Definitely,
Yes, yes,
definitely. Because the government are always up to stuff, and they let us know 30, 40 years later when it suits them.
yeah, always, always, mate. And even then, they only drip feed us bits of info.
Yeah, of course, of course. You can't have everybody going mental all at once, can you? So,
Sonny said
okay, so,
Sonny saw eight orbs once. Really weird. Never seen it before. Never seen it since.
yeah, eight is too much to be ball lightning. Right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna play a song by myself while I go to the toilet and have a little bit of a cigarette off screen. Call it a 2 minute break.
no sweat, no sweat. All good.
I'll keep my hat on just in case.
Hey, Smithy. Thanks for joining, mate. This isn't a music one today. It's Simple Hat Tuesday.
Because the snow is at our feet.
But there is some music in
When
the interlude.
embraces subside and the lilies die, it comes down
There we
to
go.
the tears on her cheek.
Listen to the emotion in that voice.
But it's alright because lanterns to
So
light.
good.
Forest demons disperse. And if Lucifer may fear this withdrawing of tears, then for evil you could not be worse. See you now, yeah,
I'm going to need
see.
another drink very soon.
Release me now, kinda like dreams too.
I'll tell you what, guys, give me a
See
sec
you
as
now,
well.
it's hard to see.
I'll be back in a sec. Just putting the
Don't
kettle on.
forget
It's
to
all shit,
sing.
mate.
Remember everything. Only little God know what bring kindness.
Ooh, ah,
Said you're just gonna hold it up, said now I'm gonna let it go. And when your heart hurts, today's like the day of the antidote.
2010.
If you think maybe
When
it's
you look
hurt,
into the
promise
sky,
me, young man, you're gonna let it know.
That is it all
weird,
horrible.
mate, weird.
It's all smoke.
You can't even get a picture of the video.
Release me now, kinda like dreams do. I see you now, it's hard to see. Just don't forget to sing. Remember everything.
Nice.
Appropriately back. I'm liking the little. Oh God, my hat! I can't see. Maybe that's the trick to the tinfoil hats. The aliens can't get you if you can't see them.
Yeah, yeah. You can't see me if I can't see you.
Yeah, standard.
I
Oh,
can't
God, I
believe
will
I'm
admit, it
wearing a
does keep your
fucking
bloody head
tinfoil
warm,
hat.
though.
So I'm
There's
going to download
something
this
to this.
after the fact. Yeah, I'm going to download this, Ash, and pop it on the YouTube as well once we've done.
Yeah, I don't see why not, to be honest.
Well, because
So
some
I think I
people
need to.
might not be able to get in, so.
I need to make some kind of Tinfoil Tuesdays jingle.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you could come up with something, knowing you, mate.
Right, so where were we? Ah, yeah, a fiery Hoberman sphere, 1991.
Okay.
Late one evening in 1991, a young man and his girlfriend parked the car in a peaceful spot overlooking the port of Olympia, Washington, and passed about half an hour talking about life and random things. Pretty much what we're doing. Suddenly, what they thought was one abnormally bright star split into a sphere comprising roughly 20 points of light, much like a Hoberman sphere expands. I found out many years later what a Hoberman sphere is, and just about crap myself. Do you know what a Hoberman sphere is?
I'm not sure I've come across that, mate. I don't think I have.
Do you remember those plastic balls that are made out of plastic, but they're like a bunch of little triangles and they all clump together, but then you open them up and they're...
Yeah.
That's a Hoberman sphere.
Right, okay.
Right, so
What's that made up of again, Ash? What's it made
polygons,
up of? Triangles again, isn't it?
definitely polygons, indeed. So it
Very
rotated
strange.
rapidly before contracting back into a single bright light. That light then glowed red and spit out 5 identical red lights, one by one, which pulsated in a synchronized manner as they flew through the sky in a straight line and eventually vanished. The witness actually managed to capture footage of the event, but the camera only showed a blank screen with a few strange flickering whitish dots on it. Yeah, that one's got me stumped.
Yeah, the first thing I want to try and do is come up with something, plausible, like some kind of explanation. But yeah, I'm stumped there, dude. There's always the possibility that these people are making everything up. I mean, I hate to, but I don't want to believe that, by the way. But you've got to consider it.
I suppose the scientific argument could be you saw a comet breaking apart in the atmosphere. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be rapidly moving all the time? It wouldn't be like stationary and then start moving. That's
They did mention, as it says, suddenly what they thought was one abnormally bright star split. So that would indicate it wasn't slow, it was in motion.
and if it's coming straight at you, by the way, it's going to look like it's
Oh yeah,
stationary
it's
in
going
the
to
sky.
look... in the famous words of Meatloaf, objects in the rearview mirror may appear closer than they are.
Yeah. Or in the words of Ace Ventura, warning, assholes are closer than they may appear.
Indeed. I did that earlier. I did it earlier, but yeah, there you go. Look, I could be right here.
Sonny says they are real and they are here. Whether they came from space or underneath us, they are everywhere. That I can agree with.
The underneath us is a good point considering this week's recent science update, isn't it?
Yes, dude, I didn't know about that until you told me. That is fucking amazing.
I
I've got to
didn't
make a
even
drink.
know
I'll be
about
back.
it, and yeah, I didn't even know about it, and this stuff's been going on for ages. Right, I'm gonna not smoke on camera. Fill in with a musical interlude. Dropping stuff all over the place tonight. That's odd.
Hey, chat. How many streamers do you know that give you musical interludes? Just saying.
Yeah, J.A.P, I've zoomed in on myself and now I can't undo it. I'm just stuck here now. Are aliens real? Do they give you the feels? Like an orange peel, but that's kind of round. A triangular or perpendicular, no one knows. So wear your tin foil hat so you won't die. Wear your tin foil hat so you don't die. Wear your tin foil hat so you don't die. Wear your tin foil hat, the aliens will know you're on their side. And you won't get abducted, and they might not fuck you. There's still a possibility that they will take a willy sample or two. So wear your tin foil hat so you don't die.
So, Ash, I've just had another interesting comment. Bart's laughing at your song. Sonny has said, and I've heard about this, it's actually true, it's happened on a few occasions. UFOs can control nuclear vessels by switching them on and off. The human operator has no control. This has been recorded a few times. They've blown over nuclear bases, messed with the controls to shit us up. I mean, World War III nearly happened, dude. If the stories are true, this is.
World War One.
Well, it's never bloody ended, if you ask me, but whatever.
No, we've never had a world war. We might just have one soon.
Yeah, not a fun prospect, mate. Not a fun prospect at all.
We've had a European war, and we've had a European war featuring Japan as a special guest. Sorry, Frank, I didn't know you were there.
Special guest.
Yeah, that was just a European. That was European
Okay,
War Two featuring Japan.
Yeah, in right, Ash.
So this might actually be the first world war. It will be devastatingly beautiful.
I don't know about beautiful, mate.
From Lord Shiva's perspective, there's a beautiful side to it.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. You have to first destroy to create.
Exactly, you have to level the land to grow.
Yeah, I do understand this. I just don't think that war is the. It's the favourable option. I just don't think it's the right one.
You know, I was having this conversation with somebody else on GIFGAF earlier today, prior to going live, and they were outright condemning any form of support for war, and I simply answered with, when you become the apex predator and you are prey to no one, you end up prey to yourself. Furthermore, without war, all this advancement, this technology, this growth, we wouldn't achieve it. This is where it comes from.
I understand where you're coming from, Ash, and I appreciate what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think we had to go down that route. We could have achieved the same things. Maybe it would have taken longer, granted. But
That's the point, J.A.P. That's what I'm going to argue. Peace makes a lazy man.
can't deny that, mate. Cannot deny that.
In times of peace and prosperity, when everything is provided and the man doesn't have to think about defence or attack, the man is lazy. The man achieves nothing.
And you can
When
look at
wartimes,
society. If you look at
oh yeah, it's
society,
so
it's
proven. It's so
proof of the
proven.
pudding. Everyone's entitled now. Everyone thinks they're entitled to fucking everything, and
You know, so I can agree that war is negative, but it's necessary.
in the current climate, I'll have to agree with you. I don't like it, but I'll have to agree with you.
In the current climb, in all climes, there's never been a climb without war.
I don't think.
In fact, those are the perfect words to use. We have never climbed without war. It forces
I
us
agree
to.
on that. I agree. I agree. I don't like it, but I agree. But anyway,
Right,
aliens. Back to aliens. So Sonny reckons
we're
they
on a.
won't allow nuclear war. They will destroy the warheads with lasers. I've heard stuff like that before as well.
I don't even think the nations with nuclear powers would use nuclear powers because we want to assimilate the population that we take over. We don't want
Yeah,
to.
not destroy it.
Yeah. We need to be able to salvage something. But what's the point in taking land if you can assault it and you can't use it? There's no point.
Yeah,
The point is profit, and if the point is profit, then something needs to be gained from that expansion.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Nuclear fusion from Sonny is something else. CERN are the gatekeepers, very possibly. They're up to some weird shit there.
To be
Funny enough,
fair,
they've got a statue of Shiva outside of their building, haven't they? That's a little
to be
ominous, don't you think?
to be fair, as we say that sound is a fundamental force in the universe.
Yeah.
So is radiation.
hmm We literally live on radiation, the sun's radiation.
Plants eat it to survive.
Yeah.
I really wish we could smoke on camera. This would make it so much easier.
So now I'm having to keep leaning off like this. Do you want to get into the next story, Ash?
Yeah, 8. The IDES of March sightings, 1995. So we're getting a bit closer to the future in this one.
Okay.
On March the 15th, 1995, the NUFORC received an influx of calls across several states from witnesses who saw a bright object flying through the night sky. The first of these so-called Ides of March sightings was reported by 2 men in Florida who described it as a luminous white and disc-shaped. Though subsequent descriptions from others varied, a Tennessee caller thought it was more of a blue-green cloud of light that emitted sparks before vanishing. And a Missouri State Highway Patrol sergeant said it was like a green light that turned yellow and suddenly snuffed out, like a light being switched off. He also explained that many people called the patrol's 911 dispatch line to report their own sightings, and one person claimed his cell phone and car radio both died when the UFO got close. Other reports came from Virginia, West Virginia, and Missouri. In summary, it appears that one or more egg-shaped objects radiating intensely bright green, blue-green, and yellow light, periodically spewing out a cloud of sparks, streaked over at least 7 states. I'm going to call that ball lightning.
That sounds like ball lightning, yes. But it reminds me of a case that happened in Britain not too long ago.
Oh, the
And
Pembrokeshire one in Wales.
no, this was London, and there was literally tens of thousands of witnesses to this, and it did the same thing. It was white to some people, yellow to others, green, orange. Different people saw different colours, but tens of thousands of people saw that going over London. It was on the front of the Sun newspaper. There was an artist rendition of it. When I went looking for that newspaper online, because I wanted to show somebody that it was on the front of the newspaper, I was trying to make a spectacle of it. Gone. Gone. Couldn't find it. Couldn't find the newspaper. Very strange. Very strange. Sounds a lot like the account that you just read off, though. Very similar.
Now, this second one sounds more convincing because it's a very similar phenomena, but more people were witness. So in March 1997, 2 years later, Arizona played host to what the UFO organisation dubbed the most dramatic UFO sighting reported in a few years. Dozens of people from all over the state phoned the hotline to report having seen a group of white or red lights in a V formation, the triangle again, flying across the sky. One man with flight experience estimated the lights were about 1,000 feet from the ground, and multiple people claimed the display was totally silent, making it 97 could be drones, making it unlikely that the airplanes were responsible. When the same observer phoned Luke Air Force Base about the event, the operator told him they had received calls from many other witnesses too, but according to the NUFORC, the base later claimed that nobody had called them about it. After these Phoenix lights received national media attention, several months later the military finally offered an explanation. The lights were just leftover flares that the Maryland Air National Guard had dropped at the end of an operation in Arizona. I struggle to believe that.
The flare thing just pisses me off, mate, if I'm honest. A flare, granted, it's going to stay in the air for a little while.
Flares do this. Flares do this.
Thank you. It's going to go up, but it comes back down.
Yeah, of course. It's a flare. Look.
I mean, especially if this chap you just mentioned had flight experience, he's going to know what a flare looks like.
Yeah, I think so.
How are you zooming like that?
Pinch him.
Does that work? Hold up, let me
pinch it slowly, because it's like, yeah,
yeah, that's going.
Pinch out, pinch out.
It back. It won't come back. Hey,
there you go. You have to do it slow. I told you, slow.
See, normally on my front-facing camera, I can't use a zoom function, so that freaked me out a little bit. I didn't know it was possible. Yes, Sonny says the flares are obvious. They stay in the air for a bit, but then they drop as you would expect to see. Precisely, mate.
Yeah, and they drop slowly, obviously.
Basement's back, and she says, he, she, sorry. I'm not assuming gender. They're all in the basement. They've got all the aliens in the basement by the sounds of things, mate. We'll have to visit. She. Sorry about that basement. You don't assume gender, do you?
Is basement a she?
Yes, basement is a she, yes. She's just confirmed it.
Is she referring to that film where all of the monsters in the world are kept in a lift underground? I can't remember what it's called, but I've seen it.
I don't know if I've seen that.
There's a movie where like all of the horrific monsters, the Wendigo, Bigfoot, all of them are kept in a big storage unit under the ground.
That sounds a bit like the SCP Foundation, that does.
I'd have to...
That's all sort of cryptids and paranormal stuff, but it's only creepypastas. It's not real.
I'd have to Google it, but I've got so much stuff loaded on my laptop. It ain't worth it. Right, let's get into the next one. The triangles seem prolific, though.
Yes, it's very common, mate. Very common.
And it just seems to be a very odd consistency.
Yes.
Like it's frequent. I have no idea why.
Basement says we are all technically triangles. Okay. Okay. Vicky asks, what do you think of the case where a UFO was blamed for hitting a wind turbine? Oh, that was quite recent, in the last few years, wasn't it, Vic? Yeah, I remember that. It was quite widely reported. That was.
Have you ever
Um.
have you ever seen a wind turbine in the flesh, like nose to nose?
Yeah. Yeah, they're fucking massive.
They're giant, absolutely
It's
gigantic.
huge.
So that's perplexing.
Yeah. I I think it could have been. It could have been. I'm not going to rule out the possibility. Ah, yes, there's the Aurora vehicle as well. I forgot about that. That's right, Sonny.
What, Aurora Borealis?
No, there was an experimental vehicle. If we were on about the same thing, there was an experimental vehicle called the Aurora, and it was I believe it could go into space. You know, it was just a. Is that right, Sonny? Please correct me, mate, if I've got it wrong. Basement says the basement is massive. Massive.
Of course it is.
Would it have to be?
Does this person have access to said basement? Because I've got my hat on. I'm willing to descend.
Yeah, man. I want to meet Bigfoot.
I might have to tinfoil my entire body, but I'm up for it. I'm up for it.
You can put me in the basement any day.
Alright, so we've got two stories left. We're going to go with 1999, and this is a weird one. Elk. You know what an elk is?
Yes.
The weird,
Like,
yeah, the weird
like a moose, if you like, I suppose. It'd be.
half moose, half deer, I suppose. An elk.
Yeah.
So apparently they were abducted in 1999. Three foresters were planting seeds in Washington's mountains when a gently wobbly disc-shaped aircraft appeared and drifted toward a herd of elk. Nearby, all the animals fled together, but one set off in a different direction. The UFO positioned itself over the lone elk and beamed it right off the ground, though observers couldn't discern any visible means of support attached to it. The UFO wobbled more, seemingly struggling with the weight of its prey, and eventually rose so high that the witness couldn't see it anymore. They assumed that the elk had somehow ended up inside the aircraft. When the NUFORC director Peter Davenport travelled to Washington to conduct an investigation, he was shown the carcass of a pregnant elk that had been found dead just a few miles from the UFO sighting. As for whether the same sorry creature that the UFO has targeted, nobody will ever know.
Yes. So again, this isn't uncommon at all. It's usually cattle, but there has been quite a lot of eyewitness reports of animals being beamed up. I hate to use that phrasing, but that's for want of a better phrase, basically. There has been some video evidence of this as well. However,
I mean,
in this day and age, it's hard to say what's real and what isn't.
I'm going to argue that we could beam up animals anyway.
Really
Not by
could.
not by using beams, but by using transparent fishing lines.
Okay. Bit elaborate though, isn't it?
When you're in the theatre, you don't realise the guy's got wires. When you're watching a movie, you don't realise the guy's got wires, and it's
Yeah.
easier. It's easier for a flying vehicle to hook something and drag it up, and
Do you,
that would explain the weight differential. Because if it was a light beam, there wouldn't be any differential.
yeah, there'd be no kinetic.
Yeah. The fact that this craft dipped as a result of the weight would indicate it had some kind of hoist.
Well, okay, so physically, scientifically, this could still be achieved as some kind of hoax, is what we're
Yeah,
saying. Yeah.
entirely,
Yeah.
entirely.
Because we're not, again, chat, we're not trying to disprove anything or
In,
prove
in,
anything. We're being
in
open minded
fact,
about the subject.
In fact, above that, it could not. Maybe it wasn't a hoax. Let's suggest that elk are a protected species, which they are, and one of the elk, I don't know, had rabies or some kind of disease that was going to impact the herd. Maybe somebody would send a helicopter to take that elk out of the equation.
At night?
So it doesn't scare people.
Right.
You don't want your dog walkers in the mornings seeing an airlifted elk. They're going to have questions.
Yeah, I
You know,
get you.
and then you'd have to tell them the truth and say, oh, it's got rabies, and then everybody would panic. Better to do it in secret.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sonny says UFOs spoon on our atmosphere. They are neither here or there, in between dimensions. Yes, this is something that's said in the UFO communities a lot as well. That maybe they aren't physically extraterrestrial, but they are coming from other dimensions, which is yet again another possibility. We can't even claim to understand different dimensions and things, so
They spoon on the atmosphere.
I think he's trying to say that they like skirt around it and that maybe they feed on it. I don't know. They undid the glue before we did. You mean the veil? You mean the veil there, Sonny? Is
I was just
that
wondering
what you
if he'd
mean?
seen. I was wondering if he'd seen that movie about where spoons are like altruistic beings in the space. I've seen that. I've seen that movie.
No comment. I have no idea what to say to that. Altruistic spoons in space.
I've seen it. I've seen the spoon gods in a film one time.
That's mental, man. What's that
Once,
called, Ash? Do you know? Do you know
no,
what that's called?
I saw it on TikTok, and they never give the names away, do they?
Ah, no shit. You might have to Google it, Sonny. You might have to type in spoons in space.
Altruistic spoons in space.
Yeah, man. Fuck me, that's the title of my next book. That is.
Didn't they admit all of this was true in the US Congress months ago? No, they didn't admit it. They're still going through it.
Yeah.
It's less than an admission to aliens. It's more like the USA government is admitting to, we don't know what the fuck it was.
Yeah. That's it in a nutshell. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure. Could have been the Russians. Could have been aliens. Who the fuck knows?
And the other part of this is, if they've been telling us that we're stupid for believing in aliens,
Brief
for all
toilet
these
break before we
years,
finish the last section, J.A.P. I'll be back in a second.
yeah, no problems. If they're telling us, oh, you're crazy for believing in aliens for all these years, all these decades, in fact, and then they come around out the blue and start saying it's real, you've got to think to yourself, are they up to something else? Are they trying to convince us that aliens are real so they can go ahead with Project Bluebeam, a fake alien invasion? Oh, Sonny, why'd you have to mention Tic Tacs? Everyone's calling me a Tic Tac because of my bloody head. My head is not a sodding Tic Tac. Yes, double bluffers, mate. I think that's a possibility. They're trying to blag us. Yep, they have since Roswell. But it must benefit them for them to come out and say these things at the moment. You've got to take that into consideration. Why have they all of a sudden just started saying, oh, well, yeah, we don't know what it is. It might be aliens.
Listen to me.
Don't trust them as far as you can spit them.
In a minute. I'll get a swarm all of us.
They're bloody selfish lawyers.
You weren't saving it for nothing.
Saving it.
We've gone over a little bit on the time, guys. We've only going to go for an hour, but
I was about to drink that right now, to be honest.
we've surpassed
I'll
that.
go down to the shop after then. I'll see if I can get a 10 off KP.
I'm not, Bob.
Well,
What are you doing?
Sonny, I understand your point, mate, but you could say that since the bloody 20s, or well, you could go back any time in history. Mass people have been seeing it for a long time.
He's done.
But I suppose people can record it now as well.
Come on the shop with it on in a minute.
They can't keep lying now. You do make a good point there. It's more documented these days, making it difficult for them to lie about it. But I still don't trust the fuckers. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
1 second, J.A.P, before I get into the last story.
No problems, mate. No problems.
I've got to take a rundown.
I can roll my cigarettes.
Explain.
When you
Yeah,
can't,
me
you
too.
can't even tell I'm rolling, can you?
Just do this. Do this. Oh, don't vape. Vaping is bad. Oh, you can't even see the smoke coming out of my mouth because I've got too much light density.
Am I allowed to lick my Rizzler on stream?
You
'Cause
mean
I
make
just
a paper? You mean your paper aeroplane that you're making?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I'm loving this paper aeroplane tutorial, to be honest.
This stream has gone into so many different directions.
So, I mean, to be fair, when I pack the stream up, I need to find myself a paper aeroplane supplier, if you get me. Like,
Yes, I do. Yes.
yeah,
I've
I've
got to
got
wait
£10.
tomorrow for mine.
I've got £10, and hopefully I can meet somebody with some paper aeroplane fuel.
The Battle of Los Angeles. Yes, Vicky.
Yes,
Oh,
you know what?
you know your stuff a little bit, don't you, girl?
You know
You
what?
know what I'm on about.
I recall that. That was a very War of the Worlds kind of thing, with all the lights shooting up and that, because they were tracking this thing and they couldn't find it, could they?
The strangest thing about it is it was fully documented. There's photographs of it, and lots of people died in that instant because the military was shooting at this thing, and there were stray bullets going. It wasn't damaging the craft at all, but there were stray bullets and munitions flying around, and people actually died in that because of the ricochets and whatnot.
Sorry, I've just gone full circle. You know this happens to me. I've literally gone full circle. The irony in that phrase. The triangles being polygons, prisms being the things that produce light, sound being the transmission. Is it possible that these are holograms?
Do you want to slap?
I'm just saying.
No, I just mentioned before you came back. I just actually mentioned Project Bluebeam and their idea of putting holograms in the sky to fake an alien invasion. It could be all bollocks, mate, but it seems like they're going to have a go at it. It does seem like they're going to actually try to do this, and they actually have what's known as tangible holograms, which to layman people it means you can touch them, you can feel them. There's some kind of vibration to them, so they feel solid. So maybe there is some holographic stuff going on here.
It's possible. It's possible.
Definitely.
So our final story is high-flying real estate in the year 2000. The year 2000 was a trepid year. I don't know if any of our commenters they were there to witness the eclipse in 2001, but I saw it and I didn't wear glasses. I saw the eclipse with my own eyes, and it's something I'll never forget. I can still see the black hole sun in my head rent-free every single day since, and I was 12 years old when that happened. I'm 34 now. So yeah, high-flying real estate 2000. Shortly after 4 a.m. one morning in January 2000, Ed Barton, a police officer in Lebanon, Illinois, heard a dispatch about a strange UFO sighting at a neighbouring police station. He looked up and saw the object for himself, two extraordinarily bright lights that seemed to merge into one even brighter light. He sped off in the object's direction until it was almost overhead and ballparked its altitude at somewhere between 1,000 and 15,000 feet. It was triangular, once again, with a light on each corner, once again, and many more along one end. The object abruptly shot through the sky so fast that Barton concluded it couldn't have possibly been created by humans. Other Illinois residents witnessed it too. A Millstrat police officer named Craig Stevens thought it was between 1 and 2 stories tall and perhaps 3 stories long. Highland resident Melvin Knoll also likened it to a house. There were big windows about 2.5 feet wide, or 5 or 6 feet high, 2 stories, one on top of each other, he said. He told the newspaper, "I still believe it was something from another planet," though a spokesman from the nearby Scott Air Force Base is said to have claimed that the base's radar had been shut off at the time and nobody had seen the UFO. Other reports allege that the government was involved. The NUFORGC received one report from a highly reliable source who said that the Air National Guard jets may have been scrambled to take a look at the object, and several other people told the same organisation that federal government employees visited police departments and citizen witnesses to ask that they curtail all of their statements to the press.
Well, there's some pretty convenient elements to that, isn't there?
There's definitely some convenient elements to it, surely.
Oh, the radar was conveniently off. My arse. It sounds to me as if someone's seen something. If their story is true, they've definitely seen something inexplicable. It doesn't sound like your standard combustion engine vehicle that can do that.
No,
Yeah,
and it's a weather balloon.
Vicky says big cover up. 3 words, just explain the lot.
Yeah, it seems like a cover up to me. I can't say what it is. But,
it could still be secret human technology.
This is prevalent.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Sometimes you get a big red light in the middle, Ash. You get white lights on the corners and sometimes a red light in the middle as well.
Hold on, let me redraw this.
They are always covering it up, Vic.
How do we like?
Yes, Sonny. It's true. They don't tell us anything.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yes. It almost looks like a reptilian eye in the middle, that does.
You mean like the sign on the dollar bill? They're fucking with us, man.
Don't we know it?
I put my pen down in anger. They're fucking with me. They're fucking with my head.
Well, they're fucking with us all, mate.
And I'll be honest, if I had the money to form a war, I'd probably go ahead and do it just to... I can now see that triangle everywhere in everything I'm looking at.
Oh, obsessed much?
Oh, it's flipping everywhere, man. It's piss take. Piss take. You know what? Why aren't the DWP watching me now? Why? Got some news for you.
Listen, if you are listening, I want my fucking cost of living payment because I'm about to run out of electric, you bastards.
Me too, man. I had to put a tenner on today and I'm still paying my fucking debt off, man. Give you some money. Give you some money.
Let's go.
We're not going to beg TikTok. We'll just beg the government. Yeah. Look, roses. Thank you, government. Thank you. Yeehaw, cowboy.
Do you know what? I did make a stupid video about the NPCs being, but I'm considering it, do a spoof stream where I just
Yeah.
swear at everyone and just say, yeah, fuck you for the blowjobs and like I did in the video. Then I'll just stand there for an hour telling everyone to fuck off. Fuck you for watching it. Fuck you for watching it.
Fair enough. We're approaching 8 o'clock, so it's been a 2-hour stream when it was meant to be a 1-hour
Wow.
stream.
Fucking hell.
And I suppose we'll do this the same time next month. I'll keep my tinfoil hat just
Yeah,
in case.
I'm gonna reinforce it with some extra materials to make sure it stays intact.
And then before I go down the road, I suppose.
Oh, we get a leaving song. Sonny says do it tomorrow every night.
No. Aliens are real, and if you don't believe us, fuck you.
Hey, there's the jingle. That's the jingle.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that one.
I suppose we're coming to the end now, so I'm going to thank everyone for dropping in
Yeah, me too.
and getting involved, guys. It's been a blast, man. And
It's been an experience.
as it stands, we've got a plan to do this every month, but maybe in the future we might do more. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, the topic's interchangeable. We haven't even touched on this yet.
Yes, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got religion, philosophy, aliens, the paranormal, conspiracy stuff. And I'm just going to say as well, guys, the heading for the post, it might say ancient aliens. But yeah, we're going to go into all sorts of stuff every time.
It says Tinfoil Tuesday, so I reckon we should just stick with that, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry. I forgot that we didn't put it as ancient aliens. Silly boy.
But you know, the next time that you're wearing your your Rick and Morty t-shirt, at least give me. I've got the same t-shirt. Give me advance.
Yeah, remember when we went to Warsaw?
Yeah, man.
And you was wearing yours. I was going to put mine on that morning as well. This one's it's a bit old and tattered though. The graphics, graphics going on it now.
I like the fade in it.
I had a better one, but I gave it to Canon.
I like the fade in it. It shows your age.
Sonny wants us here every Tuesday, dude.
Oh, every Tuesday's a bit of a stretch, man. I'm a busker, you know. Like I've got things to do.
Yeah, man.
But we'll do it once. You know what? We'll do it once a month until the year's out, and then if this gains traction by 2024, we'll consider doing it once a fortnight.
Yeah.
And then if it gains traction beyond that, we'll consider doing it once a week. If you want once a week, then I want to see 100 people viewing. If there's not 100 people out doing it once a week, end of.
Yeah, we need to make it worth it.
Yeah, I'm not a Twitch streamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and yeah, we're not in this for the money in that. We're basically just two geezers having a conversation about philosophical matters, which we intend
to join in.
Yeah, and we want you to join in. We want your comments. We want your input, and we're gonna respond to that because through discourse we will achieve everything.
Yes, I agree.
Whether wrong or right, the ability to speak and the ability to explore thought patterns, it's gonna do a lot for everybody involved.
I agree.
Whether you be an observer or whether you're a participant, set a date, a time, etc. I'll be every month, says Danny Rice. The next time is going to be the last Tuesday of the month, as it is today.
Yeah.
And once again, if we can gain traction beyond that, then we will do it more. Until then, I think it's time that we say goodbye, J.A.P.
Goodbye, J.A.P.
You cheeky bastard. Sound will be about what time we're starting. We were going to do 7 till 8, but we've ended up doing 7 till 9. So I think we've set a bar for ourselves now.
Glad you enjoyed it, Vicky. I'll speak to you soon, bud.
Indeed. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you for being a part of our weird live stream podcast and our tinfoil hats. And I'm sure we will see you all again.
No.
Until then, peace.
Ta-da. See you, Dave.
It's still going. End now.